Hey, good morning. Welcome to Sports Talk. I'm your host, Chris Trainer, co-host Steve Goodson with us today. We have a second co-host coming in, Dave Miller. He'll be with us shortly. Has some obligations at school this morning. Friday, September 12th. Steve, how are things going with you?
Man, things are going great.
Enjoying retirement.
Life is good. Enjoying retirement over
Life
4
is
months
good.
now.
Retirement's better.
Loving life.
I don't blame you. We got to plan some trips now.
Yeah.
Ireland for the Carolina game next year.
Let's go
Hope they'll be a little better.
to Chicago and watch a football game in South Bend, Indiana.
How did we not go to Soldier Field while we were up there? Weren't
So-
they playing that Sunday or something?
They were playing. We flew out on Sunday, but you
Yeah, we
and
got delayed.
you and Miller and Mahalchik got delayed and
That's
then flew
right.
out till Monday. And y'all ended up
And we ended up
deciding
driving
not
right by it. I'm surprised we didn't figure
Yeah.
out a way to get over there and
because they had a home
Bum a
game.
ticket,
The
yeah.
Bears were playing somebody
we
that
could
day.
have done that while we were there. Took in a can't do a Cubs game. Dave Miller, welcome to the show, Dave Miller.
Hey,
we started a little early. Sorry, getting going without you.
All right, no worries.
We know Friday mornings are tough at the school.
Yes, they are.
We're glad to have you with us today. While you're catching your breath from climbing Mount Kilimanjaro there.
Oh, this is easy. It's not 3 flights.
Okay. We're going to do our talk about our proud sponsors here. National Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Modern Exterminating, the losses of John Drew Warlick. Y'all know that guy, don't you?
Yeah, he's on IR
And how about
recovering.
him sponsoring the Blitz now? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he talked to me about that last
Or
year.
the losses is, yeah.
I was his advertising consultant about that last year. About
So you're
that.
multifaceted
Oh,
now.
Did you get a fee for that?
No, but I'm getting some. Hopefully, I'll never have to use them. But hopefully, I'm going to get some free legal services. But hopefully, I'll never have to use
He's
them.
on retainer.
Yeah, he's on retainer if I need him.
All right, I also want to thank Bayshore Animal Hospital in Swansboro. I said that right today, not Swansboro. CNS Paint, Ron Choate, Victor Case. Golden Corral and Billy Sewell. Bradley's Jewelers. Rock Creek Golf and Country Club. Jones Onzo EMC, your Touchtone Energy Cooperative. Downey's Heating and Air Conditioning. Hampton Hadley Chiropractic. Jones LP Gas in Verona. Don't forget, guys, if you need your cylinders filled, $11 today. They're in Verona at Jones LP Gas. Southern Touch Painting, Roger Carroll and his crew. Fountain Management, Miss Sandra Fountain. Onslow County Motor Company, Ben Beasley. Barnes Diamond Gallery. Layton Associates Family Dentistry, Drs. Tommy and Kim Morgan. Bartley Insurance Services, Bill Mercer, and, of course, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning. Our racing report is fueled by Onslow County Motor Company and Ben Beasley. I'm not sure which you're a bigger fan of, Major League Baseball or NASCAR.
Actually, if I had to pick between the two, I would
Probably
pick,
NASCAR.
I would pick cricket.
Okay.
Yeah, I would. I would.
Was sailing's not available?
Well, I care and know as much about cricket as I do NASCAR. They
You don't have to know anything
they've
about
changed
NASCAR.
they've
Yeah,
changed
you're right
NASCAR
about
right
that.
now. They're doing like you got to finish in the top 10 or 15 to qualify for the last
Segments,
3 races.
yeah.
Or, I mean,
Kind of magoo.
and you're just keep turning left, right?
Yeah. Well, we'll
Ex-
talk more
there's-
about that
yeah,
in the report.
yeah.
I've got some other stuff.
There's a couple tracks where they road courses.
Yeah, used to if you
I've
turned
gotten in
right, you were
actually-
in trouble, but now.
I've actually gotten into Formula One because they do have to do a little.
Well, you might like NASCAR then because there's about 8 of them now, 8 road courses.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Cool.
Special thanks to Helen's Kitchen and Billy Grissom. They brought us cheeseburgers and BLTs this morning.
Nice.
We'll feed y'all once the show's done. Want to make sure we get work in first. You know?
Okay.
They'll be here with that. Or actually, you already dropped it off just a few minutes ago. And we're on our podcast also. You can relive today's show and years of Sports Talk episodes. It's on the Sports Talk Experience. Find it on YouTube channel at WSME Radio. You can also connect with us on Facebook at Freedom 971 WSME. Online at WSME971.com. And our studio line is 910-346-2248. And before we go any further, of course, today's September 12th. Yesterday, the 24th anniversary of 9/11. You would think in this country that we would never forget that, and most of us don't. But I don't know. It just seems like the way things are going, sometimes we get away from. You remember the fervor of patriotism right after it happened, how everything was. The country kind of came together, tragic events, and I don't know. It seems like we sometimes we forget that.
Oh
stuff.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I remember exactly. I was obviously it happened during the morning time, so I was at work.
Yeah.
Like I am not now.
I was
but,
not.
but I was at work, and it was a buzz. I mean, just with everything going on, and I actually played in a golf tournament yesterday out of town near Fayetteville, and they had a pretty nice little 9/11
Tribute for that.
before.
I'm sure a lot of the
tee
games
off
and
Sunday.
stuff, on TV and stuff had that, and it's just everybody remembers where they were. I'm sure you do, Dave, too. You're probably at school, I'm sure.
I was at school, and I had second period planning. I had walked to the office, and they said, "Hey, plane had hit one of the trade centers. Walked over to the library, and as I was in the library watching, saw the second one hit, and then we kind of realized.
Yeah, because you thought the first one was just like
accident.
just a freak accident.
Yep.
And then not long after the second one, hit, and you're like, oh crap.
Something's going on.
Yeah.
And of course, then the Pentagon shortly afterwards, and.
And I remember the one of the announcers though saying, even though you were hoping it was, or your first thought was a freak accident, about how clear that day was and how it'd be really hard for a pilot, unless I don't know, just one in a million shot coming out of the sky. But then the second one hit, and obviously you knew that something was terribly wrong, and just a bad time in American history, and something that I hope we everybody keeps that in their minds and remembers that there's evil out there, buddy.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you got to keep as we've seen in the events in Charlotte, the last couple of weeks. Just there's bad stuff out there. You got to keep your guard up and keep your head on a swivel, like we say in football.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
All right, let's get into what do we want to talk about? Maybe high school football.
Let's go.
Cardinals got a who the Cardinals got this weekend?
They got
Topsail
High School.
Hollywood, of course. I'm giving you a second to get in the mic. He hates when I make him jump right on the mic like that because I will surprise him every now and then. Give us the rundown on the Cardinal broadcast tonight.
Well, it's a home game, and 6:30 pregame here at the radio station at WSME 97.1. Even 11:20 a.m. you can catch it early and worldwide, around the globe, wherever you are at WSME971.com. So pregame with Bob Warlick, Jerry Allen, Ashley Mosley may be up there hanging out. Kickoff at 7 o'clock, and then postgame Golden Corral report. So there you go, Topsail, and it's the first game. It's the first time I believe we played them in a long time with this new realignment.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So are you guys having to do anything special for Bob Warlick since he's coming off rotator cuff surgery? Are y'all having to cater to him?
Well,
I heard Hollywood's going to carry him up the bleachers to get him up in the press box.
Okay.
Well, there are some green M&Ms in the
Okay.
Is that what he likes?
in the
Green
champagne
M&Ms?
room, and there's special stuff like that. you
Oh,
know.
okay.
Or like the old rap song used to say, "There's no sex in the champagne room."
No, I texted him this past weekend. He seems to be doing okay. He says. So.
Yeah, I talked to him yesterday. So
Yeah.
he's doing good.
Well, good. What did he do to hurt his rotator cuff?
He's old.
He's old,
Oh.
just like you and me and Dave.
And me.
Was it his pitching arm? Did he used to be a big time pitcher or anything?
No.
It was the one. Are we on camera? Because this will make
Yeah,
is this
yeah, you
live?
can see
So
that.
this will make good sense. So it was like when he was in court arguing, he would always raise his hand
Yeah.
like that, and so it's something with.
Are you serious?
No.
Yeah, well,
It sounded good though, didn't
It's
it?
like
It
the
did
"Give
sound
me
great.
liberty" or "Give me death."
Yeah.
that was very convincing. Yeah.
How about that? So anyway,
All right, Bob. We'll get better soon.
Yeah, Bob doesn't like the courtroom. He'd rather.
Yeah, he'd
take
rather
care of-
settle.
Yeah.
Yeah, settle. He's like the Tom Cruise character in A Few Good Men. He had like 67 cases and none of them ever went to court.
Yeah, none
he
went
finally gets. This is what court looks like. All right, let's look at last week first. We're coming off what Jerry Allen quoted as a very easy week, unless of course you're a Southwest homer. Then it wasn't an easy week. Looking at the week, I think everybody went 6-0. Is that correct?
I have no.
I don't
clue.
know.
I have
I
no
did.
clue.
I've
You're
got
the
it.
you're the bearer of
I've
the
got it right
of the
here.
records.
There were only two people that missed the game, and both of them picked Southwest.
And one of them was you.
Yeah,
Of
one
course.
of them was me, of course, and Jason Humphrey was the other one. Other than that, the entire field went 6-0. There's just no challenge to that. You got to try and pick the upsets and lose.
You ought to try potentially look at throwing a point spread on them, but I know you guys won't do that.
Yeah.
I know you. That's probably frowned upon here.
Yeah.
On our podcast.
That does make a difference.
On the 2 men to 6
That makes it a little harder.
Yeah, it makes it a little bit different.
So last week's games, to recap, I've got them here somewhere. East Tuplan at Richlands. The entire field picked East Tuplan. Richlands, though, gave them a game.
Overtime.
That was
Overtime.
surprising.
And I didn't know this until I did a show with Chris Miller. I do a show with Chris Miller on Wednesdays. He was telling me, so the Davis kid, Sean Davis, that's one of their two stud running backs, scored the touchdown in overtime that put East Duplin up, and then twice inside they had the ball. Richlands had the ball twice in overtime inside the one. And on 3rd and goal and 4th and goal, East Duplin stopped him. And I don't remember if it was on 3rd down or 4th down, but the Davis kid evidently plays maybe middle
Both
linebacker
ways.
and actually stopped the Richlands quarterback. They tried quarterback sneak, was responsible for stopping the quarterback at least one time. So he wasn't Miller's player of the week, but Miller kind of admitted he maybe should have been. But
So you
anyway,
think he might have got the game ball for that game, though?
I think,
you would
I
hope
would
so.
think so.
You would
yeah.
think he would.
Winning touchdown is stopping the potential winning touchdown. All right, looking at the other ones, let's see. Swansboro, White Oak. Swansboro gave a game for what about first
half.
quarter?
First quarter.
Yeah, I
quarter
think
and
it
a
was
half.
more of a that was more of a lopsided score. Southwestern Croatan, as soon as they got off the bus, they gave them a game, and that was about it. Just not a lot of offense in Stallion Country right now. They're working through some things. I'm sure working on getting a little more O going.
Yeah, and they got
6 points
and they got
against
a big game
Richlands.
coming. I don't know if we're going to talk about it later. They got a
We will.
got a big game coming up this week.
Yeah,
and
at
just big.
At home against Dixon, and Dixon's playing well.
Rivalry game.
I looked it up, and I think in like 38 games, Southwest has lost to Dixon twice.
Yeah, last
And
time
this year
they
is
lost
gonna be
to they
tough.
lost to them in 2015.
Yep.
And then the last time they that Dixon beat them since then was in 1982. So,
Which, ironically enough, was coming after an 85-0 loss to him in '81. So you think that kind of had a little something to do with that?
yeah,
Coach Joe Nobles, they say he put everybody in, but the Water Boys that year. Still 85 points is
yeah. And the
85
last,
to nothing.
The last time the two teams met, I think was 2021.
Yeah.
In the spring season,
It was the opening game, I think.
and Southwest laid the wood on them 55-0.
Yep.
So
Anyway,
anyway,
it's
interesting
a
things.
different. It's a different Dixon team now.
Now, when we get to it, I'll talk.
we'll get to that
I got a good question for you. I asked Miller earlier this week, or Chris Miller earlier this week. I got a good question to ask you about that.
All right. So that was the third game. Southwest at Croatan. Northside at Topsail. I think Northside kind of.
Northside plays New Hanover this
No,
week.
this was this past week.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're still recapping.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Northside beat Topsail. The Northside quarterback was it Reginald Gray, I think.
Yeah.
Was the Carolina Prep statewide a Region 2 player of the week for week 2 in his performance against Jacksonville. Apparently had a pretty good game, even
He can
in the
sling it.
loss. Yeah.
And their little wide receiver.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Gavin Davis.
Yep,
He's a
great,
junior.
great hands, good speed. He just finds a way to get in the right spot.
Yeah, he's a junior. He is the all-time receiving leader now at
As a
Northside
junior.
as
As
a
a
junior.
junior.
And the Gray kid, he's a sophomore. So Northside has got some momentum and got some things to look forward to in the future. Not that they've got to potentially have a good year this year as well. But yeah.
And that's what I was thinking there. I mean, in the present, they've got a good team to start with, but we had heard that they were junior laden, a lot of them. And then I didn't know the quarterback was just a sophomore.
He's a sophomore.
So, wow, next year is really looking dynamite for them. I'm sure they're not sleeping on this year. They want to have all that momentum going to the playoffs. But like you said, look what they got to come back next year.
Yeah.
Tons of stuff. And everybody was saying last year that they were a couple years off, being a sophomore heavy class. But now junior laden.
And I will joke
got it going.
they've morphed into the what we call the Mountain West Conference from the SEC. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of movement they can make in that conference with Havelock and then
West Carteret,
Croatan, Dixon, Swansboro, Richland. So that's the conference.
Yeah, Croatan's playing well, and Dixon too. I wouldn't sleep on any of them, but I would say, would you say Havelock's still the favorite?
Yes.
Yeah, they're still the favorite. They started the season. I don't probably never remember the last time they started the season off 0-2. They lost to New Bern for the first week of the season, or no, they lost to West Craven the first week of the season, and then they followed up with a loss to New Bern the second week of the season. But Havelock, they'll find a way. They always do.
And I wonder when the last time after 2 games they were averaging 3.5 points a game.
I don't know.
It's been a while, I'm sure. You had Hobson at Dixon. Dixon rolled in that one. Like I said, Dixon, Kelly Davis has got them believing down there. He's done something right in the last couple of years. First year they struggled a little. I think this is his
Third year.
yeah, because last year was his second year, and they showed some signs last year. He of course came from Topsail, and first game of the year, they beat Topsail for the first time in eons.
Yeah.
So
They're
some
3-0
good stuff
and
going
looking to
down
go
there.
4-0 this next tonight. Yeah.
They may struggle tonight with the Stallions. What do you think?
Who knows?
Who knows?
We can talk about it.
Stallions might get it together. We won't get to that part. We'll get to the new schedule. The only other game was Lejeune at South Lenoir. Lejeune, I think, was in it for a little while. Wasn't it like 14-14, 7-7,
at one point
something
last
like
week they were tied, and the big thing last week was that they had gone the first 2 weeks and been shut out the first 2 weeks. So they actually scored 2 touchdowns last week, and so maybe they'll have a little.
Was that the
momentum.
final 14?
No, it was. They lost to who I forget. Who
South Lenore.
Yeah, 28-14.
28-14.
Yeah.
Okay, because it was 14-14 for a while, so showing a little strides there. That's good. Everybody picked, like I said, all the winners except me and Jason Humphrey with the one game.
You two Southwest homers.
I'm looking at the road. Let's see. It's like most of the home teams won in that one. Actually, it's about half and half last week for home and away, but it just depends on the stronger team.
Well, does home field really make an advantage, especially when they're that close?
It should. I mean, you can get just a raucous crowd on the other side.
I'm joking. You said something on the podcast Sunday night about Wake Forest and State coming.
Oh, yeah.
That played last night on Thursday night about how was there really a home field advantage?
There's a lot of State fans there. Yeah.
So anyway.
All right. Well, we'll look forward to this week coming up. Let's recap the winners and who's doing what. Really, nothing changed in the point standings. You still got Robert Farley and Jerry Allen at 18-3. And I've got a mess here. All tied for 3. You got Harry Brown, Ashley Mosley, Brian North, Ben Beasley, Bob Warlick with his bum shoulder and everything. All those are tied for 3rd. So then you go all the way down to 8th because of all the ties at 3rd. You got Chris Miller at 16-5. You got, let's see, Jason Humphrey at 15-6. No,
What am I,
that's
man?
incorrect. You're here somewhere. Tied for 10th.
Wow.
15-6. It was that second week. No, the first week got you 3-5.
Put a point spread on it, man.
I know.
Crush it. No.
Yeah, but the point spread is more for my mind to comprehend. So 3-5 the first week. You were 9-6 the second week, and of course 6-0 last week.
I'm on the rise.
Undefeated,
I'm on
baby.
the rise upright.
How was the Cardinal? Did you get a chance to go to the Cardinal shindig last week? Actually, let's take our first break. We'll talk about more of that when we come back. We'll be right back on Sports Talk. Wow. Hey, welcome back to Sports Talk. I'm your host, Chris Trainer, co-host Dave Miller, co-host Steve Goodson from the 2 Men and a Six Pack podcast. That thing is up and rolling now every Sunday night. Unfortunately not going to be able to be there this Sunday, so we can't have the playful banter that Irv and I have.
You mean
we got just massive comments and love about. We really Miller should think about canceling it because without Irvin and Rayner to kind of be the comic relief of the podcast.
Yeah.
okay?
especially
So actually, it might be a
I
really
was
good
joking.
show.
Yeah, we might get a lot.
You might
lot
be able
more
to actually
accomplished
get
on it.
Yeah, we can
something
actually
done.
talk about things instead of
Instead
listening
of
to a little bickering back and
nitpicking, a little
forth,
bickering.
Exactly.
like two old ladies on the front porch.
I was thinking like old married couple. He'd be the woman, of course, the princess.
At one point in time during the show, I just kind of sat back and I told him, I was like, I lost control of this thing. They're up there just having your own little conversation. So
Well,
anyway,
it's all Irv's fault. I blame Irv entirely.
We do too.
Headed into our racing report this past Sunday, September 7th, at Worldwide Technology Raceway. You know where that's at?
No idea.
Nobody does. Not even
Pocono.
NASCAR fans.
I don't know.
Madison, Illinois.
okay, I didn't even know that
And-
they knew what racing was. In
Is that near
NASCAR
Chicago?
Chicago, yeah.
So you probably gotta go through some toll booths to get
Well,
there.
I think they used a road course, and which would mean they might have gone by that toll booth.
Okay.
So hopefully the arm wasn't down because it's hard to get that thing up.
It's hard to get that thing up when it's broke, isn't it?
Denny Hamlin won the race. Your favorite, Denny Hamlin. Chase Briscoe, both of those in Toyotas.
I'm surprised he has time to race with all the cooking that he does. I mean, he cooks a lot of breakfast, doesn't he?
Denny Hamlin?
Yeah, Denny's.
Yeah. And they're open all the time, too. That's what it is. He does the night shift.
Oh, okay.
And he races in the daytime. Then you got Chase Elliott, good NASCAR name, Elliott. He's in a Chevrolet third. Ryan Blaney in a Ford and Joey Logano in a Ford finish out the top five.
Wait a minute. So you said was the top two in Toyotas?
Toyotas.
Okay, so let's just be honest. So if I was a NASCAR person, I'm sorry, but
What
I
car is a
remember when it used to be like Ford and Chevrolet and Dodge,
Yeah.
and now you've got like Toyotas.
And no Dodge.
Does Honda have a race team? Honda?
Not yet, but I mean,
I'm
there's
sure-
Honda plants in America, so
I'm
I'm
sure
surprised they
Volkswagen's
haven't.
probably going to come out with one.
What
and
are they
they're
gonna
have
put
the
in it,
bug-
though,
the
like a-
bug. I'm sure. I mean,
Yeah.
so I mean,
But
yeah,
think of
I'm
a
sorry.
Toyota car, any Toyota car that fits the NASCAR bill of like a muscle type car.
None.
It's a Camry. That's the body they allegedly use. It's all one body, and they put stickers on it, which is Magoo anyway.
Okay.
But right now it's just Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. No Dodge. I think Harry Brown needs to spearhead the
How about
comeback
Plymouth?
to
What
Dodge.
about Plymouth?
Well, that's under what is it?
I think Kia needs to put one in there.
Chrysler.
Kia and Hyundai, and I mean, let's just get all. I mean,
go get all the brands out
get
there.
all the brands out there.
And at one time, not only did you have, the Chevrolets, you had the Buicks, the Pontiacs, you had
Oldsmobiles.
Ford,
Oldsmobiles,
Oldsmobiles, yeah. I think Ford was pretty much only. Well, they had Mercury's for a while years ago, but just Toyota in there just doesn't seem. I'm sorry if you drive a Toyota, it just doesn't seem NASCAR though. Maybe it's
I would
today's
agree.
NASCAR.
I would concur with your assessment.
And then they've gone to a lot of the road courses, which in Formula One, that might be your thing to watch. Next time they do have a road
I would
course,
consider.
I'll
I
get
would
you.
consider watching. But if I would just encourage anyone who has watched NASCAR or who likes racing, if you haven't seen, I'll give Netflix a plug. There's a series, documentary, or whatever they did. They've done it with golf, tennis. They've done it called F1 on Netflix, and they did like 5 seasons of it. I think 4 or 5 seasons, and I watched a season of it. And I got hooked because
Is it entertaining?
Man, it is more so. Not that you got to obviously be skilled to drive. Those drivers are very, very, very skillful. But Formula One is, I mean, they go to these racing facilities and shops, and I mean, these guys spend not millions, they spend billions of dollars on. They have those aerodynamic tunnels, and they hire like NASA scientists and all these scientists to come in. And Formula One, I'm not saying that NASCAR isn't. Formula One is big business. I mean, it's amazing, and it really opened my eyes. And kind of funny, I think it's like they only have 20 drivers. There's 10 racing teams. Each team has two drivers or 2 cars, and so there's 20 drivers, and like 16 of the 20 drivers like live in Monaco.
Really?
I mean, so it's like a tax.
Monaco, Georgia.
Yeah, Monaco, Georgia. Yeah, it's tax free. Evidently, it's the country is, or it's a tax-free environment.
Yeah.
And those guys make $1 gazillion. So it's just really interesting.
$1 gazillion.
Yeah, they
Wow.
make a lot of money. So
That's
anyway.
a lot of money in that sport.
Yeah.
The difference between Formula One and Indy cars and NASCAR, of course, is like you said, the aero stuff. I mean, basically, you take an Indy car and a Formula One car, you got a motor, in the engine. I'm sorry, I'm old NASCAR days. An engine, a wing, and that's it. I mean, it's like so light, and it's like the wing and the tires are twice as wide. You remember this? Robert Duvall said it in Days of Thunder. Car was twice as heavy, and the wheels are twice as narrow, basically. You
But
know?
like they do stuff in Formula
Tires.
One, and I don't know that I really fully understand it still after five seasons. But they do this thing where you can get in these certain zones. You can be following behind a car at a certain distance, and you're in this whatever. And I don't know the proper term, but you get in a.
It's like drafting an aero type
but you
thing,
can,
yeah.
But then they can tell. But you can hit. You almost have like a turbo button or something, a button that you can hit. You
Yeah.
hit the button, and it gives you extra horsepower to potentially pass the car.
Is
But
it
you-
nitrous oxide?
I don't know, but you can't do it just anytime you want to do it. There's only certain times you could do it.
It sounds
But-
like a Fast and the Furious
yeah,
episode.
dude.
yeah.
I mean, it's pretty cool. Anyway,
Well, it's just, I mean, it's
supposed
just.
to be the NASCAR report, and we're going.
No, it's the racing report. That's
Oh, okay.
racing.
Hey,
We
it's
talk about
only
any
fair
racing
that
more?
you're sabotaging his show like he did your
Good.
podcast.
That's
Yeah,
right.
son,
Good point. Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And y'all feel free to bicker amongst yourselves because I was taking a little nap. That's the difference. Is I enjoy it. Bristol Motor Speedway is where they're going to this weekend.
That's in Tennessee,
Bristol,
or Georgia,
Tennessee,
or Virginia.
It's Tennessee.
Okay.
It's close to Virginia, but
Virginia,
yeah,
yeah.
Tennessee. It's Hollywood's old stomping grounds up there at Bristol. And if you were ever going to go to, have you ever been to a NASCAR race?
When I was younger, yes. When I actually have done the full gambit of sitting in the stands. I went with my dad and some of his friends, and we actually had an RV in the center.
RV.
or
Yeah.
in the center. So yes, and then of course I married a woman, a lady who is from Wilkesboro, North
I
Carolina.
was trying to say, was she a NASCAR fan?
She is not a NASCAR fan. I have a great story to tell about it, but I can't because she would kill me.
Well, if you were ever going to go to another one, Bristol would be the one. Bristol is half-mile track, like a lot of the tracks, but it's so steeply banked that they run like 130 miles an hour there. You ever been to one, Dave, before?
No.
Never been to a NASCAR race?
No.
Let's do Bristol. Bristol's one that would be entertaining. You wouldn't really care if you watched the race or not, probably once we got there. But Bristol would be a good one to go to. And then you have the big ones, of course. Jay, you never went with Rick Humphrey and his crowd to when he was at Talladega?
Never went to see Ricky down in Talladega.
He was the
Oh,
VP for a while.
He was the big cheese there,
Yeah.
man. I mean, it was, but no, by that time I had kind of morphed out of racing and had gotten into just college football,
Yeah.
pro football and stuff like that.
Kind of like when you were a certain age, you were in your wrestling stage, and then you realized it was fake, and you kind of got out of it. Were you ever in
It's
a,
fake?
What?
A what?
What?
No.
It's not. I heard something about it, but it's not.
Oh,
it's
okay.
not fake.
Don't
Come on.
It's not entertainment. And speaking of which, I saw a very incriminating video the other day from a NFL game that almost looked like a guy missed a tackle on purpose for some reason. Do you think the fix is in NFL?
It's possible.
This one looked very bad. If you see it, unless it's AI, who knows? With AI now, they could have been totally goobered around and they could have just made the video. But
So they're racing in Bristol this week.
Bristol this weekend. You want to go?
Is Ricky Bobby going to be there?
No, Ricky Bobby got caught on fire.
Oh,
Had to
did he?
take a little time off.
Okay.
Yeah. And Cole Trickle won't be there either.
Cole Trickle won't?
Nor will Dick Trickle be there.
Okay.
Best
Well,
NASCAR.
yeah,
That's
I'm
really a NASCAR name. Best NASCAR name of all time.
Yeah, I'm out then.
But thank you to Onslow County Motor Company, Ben Beasley and his crew for sponsoring our racing report. Make sure you go out, check out your local tracks. I know Carteret Speedway's got some stuff going on in the next few weeks. They've got some NASCAR folks coming in. Ryan Newman, some of the others coming in to race some races there. I remember when Coastal Plains Raceway, whatever it was called last time, they had Little Earnhardt Jr. out there. Last summer?
Yeah.
And man, they said the place was packed.
Yep.
So there's still a niche for it, but it just ain't quite what it used to be. So thank you again to Onslow County Motor Company, Ben Beasley. Thank you for sponsoring our race report. We're going to take our next break. We'll be right back on Sports Talk. Hey, welcome back to Sports Talk. I'm Chris Trainer. Dave Miller and Steve Goodson with us today. Thank you guys for being with us. Taking times out of your busy schedule. Dave, you actually have a busy schedule.
I do.
You have a busy schedule too. It's just by choice now.
I got so much going on. I had to cut my dog's walk short today to get over here.
Didn't you remember me telling you that you'd be more busy after you retired?
Yeah, you did actually.
But it's
And
stuff you
It's,
like
a, it's a
doing.
different busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
It's
different
stuff that at any
it's kind
time
of
you
a
can
fun,
say-
it's a fun busy.
Yeah, and anytime you can say, I'm not doing this anymore. That
Yeah,
type of stuff.
which happens once a day. So.
Well, let's look at this week's high school games, and I'll let you. I'm gonna go through them, and then I'm gonna let y'all pick what y'all think would be the premier matchup out of them. How about that?
Okay.
I'm gonna name all of them first, so be thinking as we go through. Dixon at Southwest, Topsail at Jacksonville, New Hanover at Northside, South Brunswick at Richlands. I told you when I wrote these down I would do that. East Duplin at James Keenan, South Columbus. That's not right.
South Brunswick.
South Brunswick at Swansboro. I put a
No,
Not South Brunswick at Swansboro. It's
somebody at Swansboro.
South Brunswick plays Richlands.
Right.
East Carteret.
East Carteret. So
that's an E.
I can't even read my. Okay, that's an E.
East Carteret.
At Swansboro. White Oak at Richlands. No, that's not right.
White Oak at Kinston.
Kinston. I wrote them very fast.
been a
Croatan
doctor.
at Washington and Lejeune at Union. Correct?
Yep.
What would you think would be the premier matchup out of those?
I think the premier matchup, game wise, will be potentially East Duplin and James Keenan. I think also
That's what I was thinking.
Also think that the New Hanover Northside
Northside,
game
that's what I was thinking.
has a potential to be a really good game.
And that one's going to be very interesting because that's going to show us a lot more where Northside's really at. I mean, obviously against Jacksonville, second game of the year, they played a good game, just couldn't keep up with the Jacksonville Cardinals. Bo Williams got the machine rolling there. But this will be interesting. I think that is an interesting matchup. That might be the most interesting
I
one.
don't know who they've played, so I can't say this. But New Hanover,
they're New Hanover, yeah.
But New Hanover's 1-2.
Yeah.
They have a losing record. I mean, they have a tendency sometimes to travel towards Fayetteville
Yes, they'll-
or Raleigh
yes.
for
Yeah.
for their non-conference games. So they may have played a juggernaut, or two juggernauts potentially.
Now, do you know if
yeah,
they're 7A or 8A? They're one of the. I know they're
They're
one of the
seven.
two.
They're in that conference with Topsail. I feel bad for Topsail. They're in the back in the Wilmington Conference, and traditionally that's a very tough football conference with Wilmington, with the Wilmington schools, Hoggard, New Hanover.
But they've been
Laney.
competitive over the past several years.
Yeah, they're just
Yeah.
not.
Especially in baseball.
I talked to somebody who went to the Northside Topsail game last week, and they just said that
Just wasn't anything.
they just don't have the athletes. They said that they had great fan support. The fans turned out like crazy,
Yeah.
but they just don't have the athletes that Topsail normally has had in the past.
Well, it's kind of ironic because Dixon and Topsail have grown so much. Both were 1A, 12, 15 years ago. Now you got one that, let's go by the old way so people understand better. One was 3A, one was 4A before the new realignment.
Right,
And Dixon was well on its way to being 4A before that last little redistricting. If they'd have gone without the redistricting and done without the realignment, they'd have been 4A now. At the new,
I think those are the most interesting games. I think the most intriguing game, honestly, is going to be Dixon Southwest.
to see if Southwest has made any adjustments whatsoever.
Well, there's a lot, and this is what I was going to ask you. So Southwest has Dixon obviously tonight. Next week they play White Oak, which
White Oak.
at White Oak, which that could be a tough game for Southwest. Be a tough game for White Oak, and then they open conference play the following week against East Duplin. That's
Arguably the best team in the conference.
Yeah. So if Southwest doesn't start to scratch
I see where you're going with
the
this.
win column here, they're 0-2. They were off last week. They potentially, if they lose tonight, they're 0-3, potentially 0-4, potentially 0-5 after the first. Then they hit a stretch where they have some games where they potentially should be favored.
Good say it, more
Pender.
winnable, yeah.
Yeah. So
South Lenore.
So I think tonight's intriguing for Southwest from a momentum factor because it could be tough the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you're looking at legitimately, the way they started out, possibly going 0-5.
yeah,
Yes.
and that's that's tough.
That's tough. Southwest and Dixon have a storied history, timeline wise. The Stallions, I think, have won like 38 out of 40 over the years. We were talking about off camera before we started. The first Dixon win. Ironically enough, in 1981, Southwest beat Dixon 85-0. A lot of people say that score was run up. Some people are saying he was, Coach Nobles was playing everybody but the water boy. Either way, Dixon responded very man-like the next year and won the game.
Yeah.
First win ever against Southwest.
And then they didn't win again until 2015.
Which was Charlie Dempsey's first year.
Yeah.
Dixon had a good squad that year. Southwest, didn't quite have the numbers, whatever the reason. But yeah, 2 losses. So, Dixon's rolling. It's going to be tough for Stallions.
And I think the interesting thing about this game is beyond the game on the field is we were talking about this with Chris Miller and Bo Williams on Wednesday. Everybody thinks, and we always joke around about kids going out of district, right? So, I think there's or out of whatever school area, and there's kind of a little deal between like White Oak, Jacksonville, and Northside because they are relatively close.
Yeah.
But historically, growing up, Dixon and Southwest do not like each other because there's always been that dividing line between around the Halls Run
Some
area.
of your relatives,
some of my
yeah.
family. I had a cousin that went to Dixon for a couple years. All his friends were at Dixon, and his senior year he went to Southwest, or senior year he went to Southwest.
Was that Rod?
Rod,
Okay.
yeah. And then, but you also have that kind of dynamic between Southwest and Richlands.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you've got those 3 schools that and then you've got
Borders.
that kind of border each other. So I think there's a dynamic. Historically the people at Dixon didn't like people at Southwest. People at Southwest didn't like
Well,
them.
especially back in the day when they were in the same conference.
Yeah.
You know?
And they were for years.
Right. And, over the past 8 years, they haven't been in the same conference. So I think that rivalry's kind of died down a little bit, but it's kind of good to see it getting back together.
Yeah, haven't played, been in the same conference, like you said. So haven't played for, a few years now.
Yeah, and
It's gonna be
the
interesting.
kids playing today, they have no clue about that. But
Right.
it's just from an old timer's perspective, it's just kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Just the dynamic. So I think that's potentially the most intriguing game because a lot of the things that could come out of it. But the best game probably East Duplin, James Keenan, Northside, New Hanover. I think.
Well, it would not surprise me at all to see Coach Kelly Davis use some of that history. Look, guys, you have a chance to do this, and 4-0 Dixon and beat Southwest for the 3rd time. You have a chance to do stuff a lot of your predecessors haven't done. So probably be able to do that. All right, we're going to take our last break. When we come back, we're going to do this day in sports, and then we're going to go through the rest of the remaining games for this week. Hey, welcome back to Sports Talk, Friday, September 12th. We have Steve Goodson and Dave Miller with us today as co-hosts. Thank you guys again for being with us. Also, if you're just joining us now, like tuned in halfway through, you can relive today's show on our podcast and years of past Sports Talk episodes. It's the Sports Talk Experience. You can find it on our YouTube channel at WSME Radio. Then you have the older archived episodes on our Facebook and online at WSME971.com. So any old show that you can think of, you can go back and catch those old, even the old Phil Paget days, some of the old shows. Coach had some great interviews, didn't he?
Yeah,
I'd have loved to have been here that
Coach
day
was
when he had
awesome.
Ray Durham and the other Jacksonville coach. I'm drawing a blank.
Coach Martin?
Chuck Martin,
Chuck
yes,
Martin,
and I
yeah.
don't know why, but I think he had Ray and Chuck Martin and Phil Paget all in the same room. Wouldn't that have been a day to just hung out and just listen to football? I don't see how they didn't keep the show under 3 hours.
Yeah.
Just telling stories, yeah. All right, well, we're going to jump into this day in sports history, Friday, September 12th.
Hey, can I do the first one?
Of course.
Man,
All
I
this
was gonna
stuff
do that
happened on September 12th. We'll lead off with Coach Dave Miller.
All right, 1885. Scotland sees the wildest soccer blowout ever. Arbroath crushes Bon Accord 36-0. Still the highest scoreline in a first-class match.
What the hell happened there?
I think each goal was 6 points apiece.
Were they picking up the ball and throwing it downfield? and
Look,
getting
I
touchdowns?
don't know. That's
almost
crazy.
like 42-0 in football.
Yeah,
Ugh.
Oh, I'm just
Or
messing
85 to nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do y'all know what the all-time NFL record is for football? For
I don't-
outscoring the team?
Have they ever?
7-3-0.
73 to nothing.
was
Yeah,
gonna
the
say,
Bears
they've never-
beat somebody.
And Redskins.
Bears beat the Redskins, I think, or was it vice versa? I think the Bears beat the Redskins.
Bears beat the Redskins.
And it was, back in probably the 40s or something, but still, that's by NFL standards, that's a butt whipping right
Yep.
there. All right, in 1895, Trailblazer Annie Londonderry, pedals back into Chicago, completing the first round the world bicycle trip by a woman in 15 months, earning her the $10,000 prize. I have questions. Round the world bicycle trip.
Yeah.
I know some places where I'm not sure you can get across.
You just keep riding around on the boat.
Yeah, that's what I'm
boat
wondering.
deck.
Do you get on a boat and
you just keep doing laps.
You're turning laps as the steamer is
Yes.
headed across the Bering Strait or whatever?
Correct.
Because I know there's a lot of places that connect, but I know there's some that don't. So anyway, I have questions. And $10,000, that's right. $10,000 is righteous bucks back in 18.
Yes, it was.
All right, Mr. Goodson.
1922, distance legend Paavo Nurmi sets a new world record in the 5,000 meter with a time of 14:35.4. I'm assuming that's distant runner. I'm assuming
Yes.
that's what that is.
So 5,000 meters, would that be 14 minutes?
Yes.
Okay, roughly, yeah. Sounds
I
right.
was thinking 14. Hell, it'll take me 14
For me, it'd be
hours.
14 days.
Yeah. They put an abacus up there for me. Yeah.
All right,
Right, Dave.
1930, Brooklyn catcher Al Lopez belts baseball's last recorded bounce home run. A quirky rule lost to history.
Last recorded. What is a bounce home
So, in
run?
other words, that's before they put in the ground rule double. So he probably hit it.
Oh.
It bounced and went over the fence.
So it
and
would
then
be a
shortly
ground
after
rule
that, they
double.
changed the rule. It was ground rule double instead of a home run.
1930, that was a while back. They probably had some different configured ballparks back
Yes.
then too. I
Well,
would
they
think.
probably didn't have artificial turf back then.
Now, back to the last one, we were talking about the distance and the speed and timing us with an abacus. We had a great idea on the podcast this week to get one of those for Irv, since he works at JPD, to get one of those speed things like you put in the neighborhoods to slow people down, show your speed limit. We want to see how fast Irv actually can run.
Well, I think the bet was Irv said he could beat everybody in the 40-yard dash except Joey. That was the bet. And I'm going to go ahead and default and say he can beat me. I'm not
he
gonna,
can have it.
If I'm running 40 yards or something, then somebody's chasing me.
There better be
shoot
a
it.
dog chasing me.
Yeah.
Shoot whatever's
Well,
chasing.
there's something really good at
Yes.
at the other mark. Yeah. Okay.
Now, who had that one? Was that you, Dave?
That was me.
All right, in 1964, American long jumper Ralph Boston soars to a world record 27 feet 4 3/4 inches, which is 8.34 meters in Los Angeles. How about that? Were you a long jumper?
No.
No.
What's goofy enough to me is the triple jump. How do they do that without breaking their ankles? The
Lot-
first one
lot
is the
of
long
practice.
one, and then you know what I'm saying.
It's a hop, skip, and a jump.
I guess.
Good
but
point. That's pretty good.
I guess that's where that came from.
It is.
1970 at Forest Hills, Australia's Margaret Court captures the Grand Slam, beating American Rosemary Casal 6-2, 2-6, 6-1 for the U.S. Open crown.
1976, the expansion Seattle Seahawks play their first ever regular season game, falling to St. Louis 30-24.
Remember the St. Louis uniforms or the Seattle uniforms back then?
Yep.
Yes.
Not to be underdone though. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers were the other expansion team.
Creamsicle
Remember the
orange.
Creamsicles, man. They're supposed to retro those this year.
Who was the Seattle Seahawks starting quarterback that year?
Oh,
Wasn't Zorn, was it?
Jim Zorn.
Jim Zorn.
and they had the receiver that ended
Steve
up being a
Largent.
congressman
Steve Largent,
before he
yeah.
passed away. Yeah, Steve Largent. They fell to St. Louis. I guess that was the Rams back then, or was that the Cardinals?
Good question.
That would be the Cardinals.
That probably was the
in
Cardinals back then, yeah.
76.
All right, 1976. Also, Jimmy Connors takes his second U.S. Open title. We were talking a week or so ago because a lot of U.S. Open stuff was coming up. There's really not that dominant American guy like we used to have. You had McEnroe, Connors, Pete Sampras. Who's I'm sure there's someone missing.
Andre Agassi.
Andre Agassi. Yeah, there was just
Pete Sampras.
there's not. I think Pete Sampras was one of the maybe the most dominant one. But you just don't have those Americans that are they're right and left in the championships. I think the female, what's her name, Coco Gauff. I think she's doing pretty well. But just the actual American men are struggling a little bit. But back in this day, he won his second U.S. Open title, outlasting Bjorn Borg, which is a mouthful. 6'4", Bjorn Borg, 6'4", 3'6", 7'6", 6'4". Now he struggled with that dude. Bjorn Borg was the guy that kind of gave McEnroe and Connors a run for their money back in the
Yep.
day, and Yvonne Lindell, some of the the foreigners that they faced back then.
For the record, you guys have given me every hard name to pronounce, and,
You got this one.
and giving me all the running things. So anyway,
got this
I
one.
don't
You got
know why.
Gerard right here.
1982 in Athens, Gerard Nijboer of Netherlands and Rosa Mota of Portugal win the European Championship marathons.
That's big news in
good.
America right there, buddy. I'm sure the Americans were sitting on the edge of their seats wondering who won the European Championship marathons back in 1982.
All right, 1984, Mets rookie phenom Dwight Gooden sets the strikeout record for a rookie with his 251st strikeout.
Didn't we meet him in Chicago? Wasn't
No.
he that guy on the street?
No.
Okay, I don't think that was him. Looked like him, though. Maybe.
Could- yeah, maybe.
Maybe. In 1988, the NFL arrives in Phoenix as the Cowboys defeat the Phoenix Cardinals in their first game, regular season home game. And, of course, the Cardinals came from
St. Louis.
St. Louis.
And
Yeah,
it would be
It's
the Arizona Cardinals.
the Arizona Cardinals at the time. Yeah, that's the Phoenix Cardinals. The Arizona
Well,
Cardinals.
it was
but-
the Phoenix Cardinals to start.
Oh, were they?
I believe so.
okay.
And then it went to Arizona.
My bad.
But I always thought it was weird because you had the St. Louis Rams at one time and the and the Arizona Cardinals. Wouldn't it make more sense to be the Arizona Rams and the St. Louis Cardinals again? The Rams are out west,
Yeah.
Should have just flip-flopped them.
1991, the ageless Nolan Ryan collects his 312th career win as the Rangers top the Twins 4-3.
That Joker could throw, couldn't he? I wonder what he throws nowadays.
He throws as fast as he wants to,
Yep.
probably.
I saw him at he threw out a first pitch of the game last year, and in Nolan Ryan fashion, he probably warmed up a lot longer, like in the tunnel or whatever, or in the bullpen. But buddy, he wasn't just doing one of those where he just wanted to get the strike.
He hummed
was
it, huh?
bringing it, yeah.
All right, so I'm up. 1992, teenage star Monica Seles defends her U.S. Open title, beating Spain's Araxia Sanchez Vicario 6-3, 6-3. There's a name for you.
Sounds like a spider. All right, in 2005, NHL great Mark Messier. You thought I was going to say Messier, didn't you? Hollywood. Messier officially calls it a career, announcing his retirement on ESPN Radio. One of the all-time greats in hockey. Yeah, Messier, he was pretty good.
He was fair.
He was fair.
He was fair.
So, have you guys ever thrown out a first pitch in an event before
No.
at a baseball game?
I would
No.
I would refuse to do it.
How would you do it? Would you try and be like the ones you see where all they worry about is trying to get the strike, or would you do like Nuke LaLoosh, the first pitch in Bull Durham, go and sling it about 20 feet up the screen just as hard as you can throw it?
Throw it as far as you can.
Do it on purpose, like throw a wild pitch.
Now I'm going to try to hit the glove.
I would try to hit the glove. If I did, I'd boycott doing it. I wouldn't do it if I had to do it.
So
I wouldn't want to make a fool out of myself.
what if you're there? Well, no. What if you did it on purpose? It would be a fool out of yourself. What if you were there and the Bull mascot was right over the right corner? Would you not try and hit him like Nuke LaLoosh did? Oof! That's what brings character to it, All All right, let's jump back into our. We'll finish up with our high school games this week. We talked ad nauseum about Dixon at Southwest. I'm just hoping. I think the Stallions, coach, have been working on some things, getting things. And I just think it's going to be a competitive game. What's your pick for that game?
Dixon.
Straight up,
Yeah,
Dixon.
I got the Stallions. They're going to break
Oh.
through.
What?
Right.
No way.
Yeah,
You're
we're going to
gonna take
break
the
through,
over
baby.
too, aren't you? Go ahead.
All right, Topsail at Jacksonville. That could be a good
No.
game for 30 seconds or so.
Yeah.
And it's at Jacksonville too, right?
Yes.
I think the Cardinals roll.
Yes.
I got the Cardinals too. Hollywood, I'll give you a second to get to the mic. Repeat what we're doing tonight, what time everybody be on the air, and it's at Cardinal Stadium again.
Yeah.
The friendly confines. Y'all like you like the road trips, but it's cool being where you know where everything is,
Man,
isn't
it's
it?
comfortable. It's cozy, you know.
And I understand the Cardinals have gotten a PA guy now. The first week I think they were without the first home game.
Yeah, the first home game. Yeah,
Ken Lovell couldn't be there or
yeah,
something, and
he is
they've
left.
got somebody new doing it.
And,
Do you know who it is? Or
I think it's Rico Singleton.
okay.
Yeah. So
All
we're
right,
good to
what's-
go there. That'll be nice. And
What's the rundown tonight on when they can tune in?
so 6:30 pregame. It all gets underway here at 97.1, 11:20 a.m. worldwide around the globe at WSME971.com. 7 o'clock is kickoff. Jerry Allen and Bob Warlick, Ashley Mosley, the whole crew will be there. And then after the game, it'll be the Golden Corral post-game report. And that's it, man. We're so excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. High school football under the lights. Not just yet. You got to wait for a little bit for the lights to come on. But, hey, it's going to be a great season. Started out great for the Cards. And go Cards, Carlton Nation, 6:30. Tune in.
And you guys are in the booth right next to the Eye in the Sky, Mike Irvin. What do you see Irv do during the course of a game? Does he go back to
Well-
the buffet a couple of times?
Well, normally if somebody in our crew, Jerry or somebody brings food, he just walks over, gets some food. He just kind of stands around, looks around, kind of looks like he's disoriented. I mean,
That's Irv.
Is
Yeah,
disheveled
yeah,
the term you're looking
he'll
for?
disheveled. He'll say hi and kind of
He stays high. Oh, he says
yeah.
hi. Okay.
No, he's great, man. He's
Some
great.
of that weed water he'd been drinking or something.
He
Okay.
loves it. He loves the Cards.
So one of the most intriguing matchups we already talked about, New Hanover at Northside. This could be a big game for Northside, almost like a turning point, in their program because they've struggled the last couple of years. They got a chance here with a big time team.
I think Northside wins.
You got Northside?
Yep.
Got Hanover.
Hanover, okay.
I'm pulling for Northside, though.
Yeah, I could see that combination they got. If they can get especially a reliable number two or a little running game to go with it. And you were at the game against Jacksonville. What else do they have offensive wise?
I've got some good size on their offensive line. I've got a couple tackles that are, 6+ and, 250 to 270.
Just that good high school range.
Good tall, lean kids. But, the only thing lacking, I didn't really see a dominant running back. Quarterback did a good job running a few times. And like
So
I
he's
said, he can
mobile
sling it,
too.
though. Yeah, he can sling it.
All right. South Brunswick at Richlands.
I got Richlands.
It's tough to gauge Richlands because of, they beat the Stallions first week, which, that is what it is. And then go with toe-to-toe with East Duplin. So, yeah.
South Brunswick, if I'm
I
not
think I'm going to
mistaken.
go with the Lands, too.
No, that was South Columbus. It opened up with
Swansboro.
Swansboro,
Which was really a weird matchup, but
Yeah, I got-
everybody was scrambling.
give me
to
the
get
Cats.
matchups.
I got the Cats.
Got the Cats. All right. East Duplin at James Keenan. Did you have ED in that one?
Yes.
Do you have ED?
I have East Duplin. I do.
East Duplin, okay. I think I'm going to go with the Panthers, too. All right. East Carteret at Swansboro.
East Carteret.
I have Swansboro.
No, I think I'm going to go with
have
Swansboro in that one.
East Carteret is winless so far this year.
Now, if anyone does
Break the streak.
Yeah, good point.
True. If anyone does bet on high school games, this will be my lock game here. White Oak at Kinston, take the Vikings.
I agree 100%. I got the Vikings.
Vikings.
I got the Vikings with
All right.
the.
Now,
with-
which
with-
Viking do we have?
With the green and pure gold.
Pure
white,
gold.
White oak.
Not the Vegas gold.
Not the Vegas gold.
All right, I'm taking White Oak. You got the Oak too, Dave?
Yeah, give me the Oak.
All right. Croatan at Washington. I'm going Croatan. I
Give me
think
the
they're
Pan
rolling.
Pack.
Mm-hmm.
Pan Pack is
Really?
0-3. The three Croatan is 3-0. But however, the three teams that Croatan have played thus far and defeated, their combined record is 0-8. So we really don't know how good Croatan is.
True.
But I think they're better, they're better than Washington.
They look.
So
They
I
look
take
the
Cro-
bill when I saw them play Southwest. I mean,
Yeah.
they've got the look.
So I take
they
Croatan.
passed the bus test, and of course, 42-0, they passed the game test. Lejeune at Union. So Lejeune's headed up to Clinton, North Carolina. How about that?
I take Union.
Me too.
Yeah, I've swore never to pick Lejeune again until they win a game. So Union. So that wraps up all the picks. It'll be curious to see how it shakes out and how if the point standings can take a little bit of a detour this week. I mean, everything stayed the same last week with everybody going 6-0, except for two lunkheads that picked the Stallions.
There's a lot to be said about loyalty.
Loyalty, baby. So I've got the Stallions this week, and that's going to be the turning point this week in my season. I'm going to start catching up because I got one game on all you guys because of that one. All right. Anything you guys want to add before we go?
No, we're good.
No,
Thank
man,
y'all for
just-
coming. I know we were on an abbreviated schedule because you got to get out of here, and we got to get rolling too. But thank y'all for all you do, and we'll try and get one later in the year, like towards the end of the football season. Try and get the whole podcast in here. We got to kidnap Joey from school,
Yeah.
get him out of there. And of course, you're
I'll check my
tend to be
schedule. I'm available.
Yeah. Let us know when the couch is free.
Yeah.
All right, we want to thank our sponsors before we head out. National Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Modern Exterminating, the losses of John Drew Warlick, Bayshore Animal Hospital in Swansboro, CNS Paint, Ron Choate and Victor Case, Golden Corral and Billy Sewell, Bradley's Jewelers, Rock Creek Golf and Country Club, Jones Onzo EMC, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative, Downey's Heating and Air Conditioning, Jason Humphrey and his gang, Hampton Hadley Chiropractor, Jones LP Gas in Verona. Remember, of course, today is $11 cylinder refill day. Southern Touch Painting, Fountain Management and Sandra Fountain, Onslow County Motor Company, Ben Beasley, Barnes Diamond Gallery, Lane and Associates Family Dentistry. Stop that. Doctors Tommy and Kim Morgan. I'll say that over because they got interrupted. Lane and Associates Family Dentistry, Doctors Tommy and Kim Morgan. Bartley Insurance Services, Bill Mercer, and Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning. Thank you to our fine sponsors. Thank you again to Onslow County Motor Company and Ben Beasley for sponsoring our racing report. I know Steve loves racing, so we'll talk more about that after Bristol. That'd be a better race to talk about. And special thanks to Helen's Kitchen and Billy Grissett for those burgers and BLTs we're getting ready to dive into. That's a wrap for sports. See you next Friday.